Hey everyone, today we're diving into a huge trend that's reshaping the accounting world, the strategic shift to offshore teams. We're going to break down exactly why so many US CPA firms are looking overseas to get a serious competitive edge.
But let's start with a question. Just imagine this for a second. What if your firm's productivity didn't just stop when you shut down your computer for the day? What if work kept getting done overnight and was sitting in your inbox ready to go the next morning? Just hold on to that thought, because it's pretty much the secret sauce behind everything we're about to discuss.
So to really get why this is all happening, you have to understand the pressure cooker that modern CPA firms are living in right now. I mean, it is a tough environment out there, and the old way of doing things, it's just not cutting it anymore.
Yep, firms are basically caught in this constant squeeze. Clients want more, they want it faster, and honestly, they want it for less. Then you've got these insane deadlines. Especially during tax season, it's just relentless. And on top of all that, the cost of hiring and keeping great accountants in the US is just going through the roof. It all adds up to this massive pressure to find a smarter, more efficient way to work.
Okay, so with all those challenges on the table, what's the fix? Well, for a ton of firms, the answer is making a strategic jump to offshore accounting. So let's talk about what that actually looks like. Now, the key word here really is strategic. This is not just about randomly outsourcing tasks. It's a full-on business model where the routine, time-consuming stuff like bookkeeping and data entry is handled by a skilled professional team in a country like India. And these teams, they're totally up to speed on US accounting standards.
And when you make this kind of move, the benefits are huge. We're not just talking about saving a few bucks here and there. We're talking about fundamental upgrades to the way a firm actually runs.
This chart just lays it all out perfectly, right? With a traditional in-house team, you're looking at high costs, fixed capacity, and you're stuck fishing from a pretty small local talent pool. But the offshore model, it completely flips that on its head. You get lower labor costs, a massive global talent pool to choose from, and, this is a big one, the flexibility to scale your team up or down whenever you need to. And hey, remember that question I asked right at the start? Well, here's your answer. That time zone difference creates this incredible, non-stop 24-hour workflow. Your US team wraps up their day, hands off a bunch of tasks. Then, while you're sleeping, your offshore team is in the middle of their workday just crushing it. So you walk into the office the next morning and boom, all that work is done and waiting for you. It's a total game changer for speeding up things like month-end closings.
Let's talk about scalability for a second, especially for those crazy seasonal peaks. We all know this problem, right? The workload during tax season is just massive compared to the rest of the year. Well, instead of scrambling to hire expensive temp staff or just burning out your main team, the offshore model lets you easily bring on more help for that peak time and then scale right back down when it's over. You only pay for what you actually need.
But here's the thing, it's not just about the money or the speed, that's just the start. The best offshore partners have these really structured review processes that cut down on errors and really tighten up compliance. But maybe the biggest win of all, it frees up your best people, your in-house team, from all that repetitive work. It lets them focus on the high-level advisory stuff that actually builds deep, lasting relationships with clients.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking right now. You've probably got some questions, maybe some doubts. Is this for real? What about quality? What about security? So let's just jump right in and tackle some of the most common ones head on.
First up, is this just a game for the big multinational firms? What if you're a smaller shop?
The answer is a huge yes. You could even argue that smaller firms get more out of it. The cost savings, the speed, the access to incredible talent, those things are exactly what a small firm needs to punch above its weight and grow.
Okay, this is the big one. The deal breaker for a lot of people. You can't sacrifice quality. So, does going offshore mean the work isn't as good?
Not a chance, as long as you partner with a reputable provider. Their teams are highly trained on US accounting standards, and they use these multi-layered review processes to make sure everything is accurate and the quality is top-notch.
All right, let's talk about something that is absolutely non-negotiable: client data security. How can you be sure that sensitive information is safe when it's being handled thousands of miles away? This is priority number one for any serious offshore firm. We're talking about robust bank-level security measures, things like end-to-end encryption, secure cloud systems, and really strict controls on who can access what. Your client's data is protected at every single step.
So, let's zoom out for a second and bring this all together. What's the real, final takeaway here for the future of accounting firms?
You know, this quote from the source material really just hits the nail on the head. In the world we live in today, this isn't some small adjustment. It's being presented as a core strategy for survival and for serious growth.
So let's just recap. Why is this so strategic? Because it strengthens every single part of a modern firm. You're cutting costs without ever sacrificing quality. You're boosting your efficiency with that 24-hour workflow. You're improving compliance. You're getting the flexibility to scale up and down. And, most importantly, you're finally unlocking the real potential of your in-house team to do high-value work.
Which really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. For a long time, a lot of people have seen outsourcing as a threat. But after everything we've looked at today, you have to ask yourself a different question. Could this actually be your firm's single greatest opportunity? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.